Press subscribe.
Press subscribe.
Press the bell.
Press the bell.
Press like.
Press like.
Change your life one word at a time.
Good morning. My name is Mr. Lily. So, welcome. It's been a crazy day. So this is part 4. As you know, I'm a maths teacher, I'm a taekwondo teacher, I'm all about my well-being. I've got my Iris Moss, my C Moss here. How are you guys keeping healthy? So, I'm also about investing in Bitcoin, financial technology, investing in the stock market, different ways. So the small cap companies, medium cap companies, that's different ways of managing your portfolio with larger companies like Apple and things, and there's less risk. But I'm also about investing in yourself, something greater than wealth. That's why I like to start my day with affirmations. So my daughter normally says her affirmations: I'm smart, I'm wise, I'm powerful. It's going to be a great day. Thank you, Jesus. So what has been going on? So GME, Gamestop, yesterday crashed 60%. So it started with where are we? So it started off with $300 on the day. Let me see if I can see the chart. So GameStop chart. So it started off really 300% in the pre-market. What am I saying? So say it started off $300. Let me get this chart. And it has crashed 60%. But what is going on? So many people are saying that so you got two sides of the story. There's some that are saying people have started selling, because the whole point of this is you're meant to be holding until the hedge fund people are forced to buy their short positions. Because remember, they bought many shorts. Shorts are saying it's going to go down, and they've done too many, more than the company has available, stocks that the company has available, and they said it's going to go down. And that's what's been happening. And then the Wall Street community that found this, so yeah, it went down 60%. So we can see it went down 60%, minus $135, and it was at $90. Pre-market today, so you can see pre-market, it's looking like it's at $92. So there's a little, it's not dropping again. So far in pre-market, we don't know what's going to happen when market opens, but the question is why? So what we can see, actually, there's a thing called, because yesterday while it was dropping, because for things to drop, that means there's more sellers than buyers. So there's more supply. Everyone's supplying theirs. There's more supply than demand. So it's going to drop in price because it's not worth it. Many people want to sell. But is that really what happens? Because when many people are looking at the volumes and seeing the volumes did not match what was going on. So it seems there's some manipulation going on, as well as other things. Because remember, the whole point of the short squeeze was GameStop shares had 140% of their shares linked to shorts, linked to people saying that it's going to drop. And how is that possible? More than the whole 100% of the company is linked to shorts. So that was where this short squeeze opportunity came in. But what's happened, many of the short positions have been fulfilled, have been closed. So now it's looking like there's only 50% shorts around, which is a lot less. So the question is the short squeeze over? Have we reached our peak? So we can see here on this chart here, the CNBC are saying the short squeeze is over. They compare it to Volkswagen, because what happened in Volkswagen in 2008 is another short squeeze. And why charts are good for our hearts and trends are our friends is because human behavior is the same. So many people use charts to predict what would happen if there's correlation. Remember, correlation just means there's a relationship between two things. So we can see it is seen to be following a relationship between the GameStop and the Volkswagen chart. But the question is whether it is at the peak. So we can see here people saying it's at the peak. So it's gonna, if it follows Volkswagen, it's just gonna continue going down. Whereas we've got some other people, that's my alarm clock. So whereas we got this chart here where they believe it's actually, we are here. So that with Volkswagen, there was a rise, but then there was a crash. and there was 4 days of crashing, like we're seeing. So far, I've had like 1 or 2 days, but then it went boom, straight up here. So it depends on how you're reading this charts and whether it is the end of the short squeeze or if we're still going to see this drastic gain. Now, what people are seeing on the volume, they were seeing it doesn't match. Many people that they're talking to, the community are not selling. So how did it drop so much? And many people saying they're not selling, but then maybe many people were selling and they're just saying they're not selling. So we don't know. And we also did say in my last video, it's all a risk because we don't know how the hedge funds and the other powers that be will try to manipulate the markets and things like that. And even Robinhood, what we found out, they limited the amount you could buy. So they said you can only buy like 5 shares. Like but yet the hedge fund people can do whatever they want to do. But then later on, they put it up to 20. Now they put it up to 100 and then 2,000, something like that. But they were manipulating things to say you can only buy things. Or some are saying it's not manipulation because who they get money from, the margins and the capital, they had to make sure they had enough money to cover what they were doing as well. So it's partly not their fault. But Robinhood, the SEC are bringing them up for trials to get investigation. They're going to have to speak in front of the people, not just for this part, but why they stopped trades in the first place. So all that's going on. But what is interesting is there's a thing called a short attack. Now, short attack and short ladders is not illegal, but these are what hedge fund people do. And this is what people say is happening now. If one hedge fund decides to short stock and say, I'm going to short it for $20, then the other one goes and buys it at $19, and then he puts it back in the market and fulfills, and you're making more and more shorts, and you're buying basically in between yourselves to bring down the price. And this is what we see happens in history, and this is what we believe is happening now again. And how this works is because the problem is, remember, it's about supply and demand. By you putting shorts there, you're putting more supply. You're putting fake supplies. You're borrowing shorts, you're borrowing stocks and saying they're going to fall and calling it shorts. And you're putting more and more supply, but the demand is the same, but you're putting more and more supply. So then prices will drop. So this is what's happening. But we also find where it becomes illegal is in history, some people even put slander. So they put fake news and say all these things going to happen. Because remember, for the hedge fund to really win, they want to bankrupt that company. If they bankrupt that company, then they don't even have to buy back the shorts. With shorts, they're borrowing to buy at a lower stage. But if they bankrupt the company, they don't ever have to buy back the shorts. So in other attacks, what becomes illegal is when sometimes they put, I was going to say spies, but worms inside the company. It could be a directors, it could be a janitor, but inside there to steal files. And then you find on the news are saying, oh, this company's under investigation and this is meant to be confidential information, but suddenly the news has it. So that's the next part of the short attack, when you use the media to say, oh, everyone's selling and this and stuff like that. So when media does that, then other retail investors start selling, and then you bring down the price further and further and further. So there's a lot going on, but we shall see. Many people are saying we'll see to Friday what happens, and you can only watch the charts because, like I said, charts show correlation. You can only use the charts to see if things are following the same behavior. And why charts are good, moving averages and all these things, because humans do the same thing when it comes to markets and it comes to buying and selling. Their behavior is the same. When there's panic, they're selling. When they're not selling, they're not selling. You see, the behavior of the charts is really good, which is why, other great news, we can see Ethereum here. Now, Ethereum is the second biggest crypto token. Remember, Bitcoin's number one, but Bitcoin came to just be a store of value and maybe one day to be money. That's what is his main goal. It wanted to stop the corruption of those having control of the fiat money and just printing it, doing what they want. But we have to work for money, and then we get taxed on when we send it to each other. So that was Bitcoin's main goal, to make it more accessible and decentralize things so that it's not controlled by this central group of doing whatever they want to do. Where Ethereum, it never planned to be money. Ethereum planned to be an ecosystem. So why Ethereum is great, there's so many coins on Ethereum. It's like my friend said, it's like the car, it's like the train, and all these other coins are the cargo. So Ethereum's a train that holds everything, because there's so many on Ethereum. Even I'll get to Uniswap is on Ethereum. So Ethereum basically is an ecosystem where you can now borrow money, you can lend money, you can put utilities that all can work from the Ethereum code and Ethereum language, all on Ethereum. So that's what it wanted to be. Because with DeFi, which is decentralized finance, I can borrow money from anyone in the globe. I can put money into this pool, and because I put money in there, I can borrow money because I put my money in there, or I can lend money and get interest. So it's getting interest, APY, interest, just globally, without the banks in control, without no one in control. The whole world is able to borrow money, lend money at a cheaper rate, and just help each other. So this is why this blockchain and financial technology is amazing. And that's why right now, remember, this is now $1 trillion market. So it's impossible nearly to squash. It's too big now, and you've got big investors coming into it and stuff like that. So even many people are saying, imagine as a big company, I am telling you, oh, I've not got access to this other market. That's why banks have to get involved, because how can you be a bank and people want to borrow money or want to grow their money, but they don't have access to yield farming and access to putting their money into crypto and watch it run and make interest in other options as well. So this is why it's a big industry. But I say all that to show, so Ethereum basically has broken its all-time high and it seems to be holding. And if we look at, remember charts, your friend, Ethereum follows Bitcoin. It's like a few cycles behind, they say. So when Bitcoin, we see here, when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, 20,000 back in 16 December, it went to 40,000, this is in dollars, by 9th of January. So what's that? In like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it doubled. So this is what people are saying. Ethereum very soon, although it's gone to its all-time high, very soon it can double and follow what is happening. And the projection for Ethereum is like 50,000, or from 10,000 to 50,000 in this bull cycle. Because what we call a bull cycle is, even Bitcoin, it's like a 4-year cycle. There's like 1.5 years of it just increasing, and there's a halving. It just drops into half of wherever it was and then consolidates and does its things. And then that's what happened in the last bull run of 2007, 2018. So it's that charts they're using to see what's happening now. And it's still following the same pattern, where increases is just key of when will the cycle run before it does the halving. That's the thing of why you have to watch the cycle and not try to buy at the top and then you're selling low. The same with Gamestop. Many people that are buying at $400 when it was up there, now it's dropping. They might be crying and stuff. But there's still the chance, if it's following the Volkswagen, there's still the chance that we might not be at the top of the thing. The key is, are they able to hold throughout? So that is the battle of, can we keep holding? So, but Ethereum is very exciting because of all the utility of it. Remember, it's an ecosystem, because even another one is called Uniswap, which runs off of Ethereum. And even Uniswap is the biggest market. Remember, because blockchain and crypto is global, Uniswap came for you to be able to swap tokens and do things on their exchange without charging you too much, just for the people. So that was what Uniswap wanted to do. Let's see. Let's search Uniswap. So, and that is on the Ethereum platform, because many people are saying, oh, Uniswap will do better than Ethereum, but they're two different things. And Uniswap works with Ethereum. So Uniswap is not trying to beat or take away Ethereum. The key, many people say, is Ethereum's market right now is at like 100 and something. Let's see, Coinbase. Ethereum's market is like 100 and something billion. Let's see if it will let me log in. Oh, we can see here. So Ethereum, can I see its market cap? Yeah, I believe it's like 100 and something billion, its market cap. I remember market cap just means if you're to take all the available coins and times it by how much it's currently priced, that's the market cap. So it's showing you what the market believes that whole company or that token is worth fully, the whole value of that company, the whole value of that market. So what we see, some people like to think, oh, one thing is going to outperform the other or it's going to take over. But what is better is looking at, if I can just get 10% of that market cap, 10% of the users there or things, essentially I can double or triple or 5x the smaller token, like Uniswap is smaller. They're like 7th, 8th in the ranking, whereas Ethereum is 2. And Uniswap's been growing for the last week. Before it was like 11th, 12th. It's been growing and growing and growing crazily in the last weeks and so on as well. So it is a very interesting time. So I was saying, yeah, Uniswap, their exchange, a DX, and they're there just to change tokens and stuff. But other exchanges, they're not global. Some people in other countries don't have access to them. Only if you're in that country you have access, or UK is allowing you to have access to the American market and things, but it's not global. Whereas Uniswap is global for everyone. So it's the biggest exchange. So this is the potential Uniswap has of its growth. And the more people and institutions, more people coming involved to get involved, the more the power of it can grow. So it's really exciting times, and we'll see what else is going to happen. But log on to my website, Jonathan Lilly Writes. There's more free information there. I remember I've got my book, Divine Wholeness. There's more information in the tab, and I've got a Telegram group that I give out advice daily and little tips, because it's all about investing in your mind. Like we say, our brain is a capital. I read it. Brains are capital that can't be sold, can't be stolen, can't depreciate. And companies that have money, the money is worthless unless it's linked to a brain to make that money and the company do something. So brains are very important. So it's very how to play the game. The rich do is also understanding our brains, our emotions, things that's blocking us from success and being powerhouse of ourselves, in control of ourselves. Because it's easy to make money, but it's harder to keep money. So on that note, have a great day, keep healthy, and I will see you in our next one. So tomorrow, because we're here Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays.